off of Halloween. Jump scare pranks for your kids or your spouse.
Um, I'm gonna go no barrel. I'm gonna go no barrel David Lee. I get the thrill. I see the Instagrams and the TikToks and the YouTubes on the jump scare. I see the reaction. I think it's funny-ish, but I also think, man, like that feeling of being like that kind of scared, uh, I don't like it that much. I mean, I'm not easily, skittish or, a scaredy
Yeah.
cat, but you can scare anyone by, you do it right. And then that just like, oh, and then you're done with it. It's not like it gives you like this endorphin rush or there's some good thing out of it. It's just like a weird spike of adrenaline and then back down to nothing. So I'm
I
going to
think
say
you
no
need
barrel.
I think you need a good fright in your life. It hasn't happened recently enough for you to really understand the thrill.
Yeah, I guess I need it again. I mean, because I'm all about like the jump scare version of like a good roller coaster or whatever, right? Like a fine bottomless drop and a crazy loop and all that. Like I like the adrenaline.
Yeah.
I just don't like to take my adrenaline from the jump scare dropper.
So I was anti a couple of days ago, but I had a change of heart. Lauren goes, I got such a good trick for Austin. And I'm like, what? She goes, it's coming in Amazon today. You wait for it. She explained it's this little box, and you go to open the box, and a spider jumps out and touches your hand. It's on
Yeah.
this little spring loaded thing. And she explains it to me, and I go, yeah, I saw that on Instagram yesterday too. Like the algorithm feeds us the same things. And so she's laughing. She's like, yeah, I saw it and I ordered it on Amazon. And I was like, I don't know if this is a great idea. Like, he's only 3. I don't know. Like, can it stop his heart? Like, is there some sort of
Yeah.
medical concern here? And she's like, no, he's gonna love it. And sure enough, he freaking loved it.
Did he go
It
back for seconds?
oh yeah. And he screamed like as if it was the first time, every time for 20 times in a row. Like he loves it. So excuse me. So then my mom came over this morning to babysit him, and we set him up. We're like, okay, hey, you got to show this to grandma. Like, tell her you got her favorite piece of candy last night for Halloween, and it's in this box. And so he gave it to her, and he got to go through the process of teasing somebody else and getting them. And she freaked out too. And I got to tell you, it's been the most entertaining thing in our house the last
Okay,
24 hours.
I'm in. I'm back. I'm totally convinced. I'm
Okay.
like, I was thinking more of the jump scare, like the elaborate kind of let's trick and then hop out or something. More
I've seen a
than,
lot of that on Instagram the last week too, and I'm kind of
yes.
into that too.
I like this one though. I like the old school box with something in it that gets you.
Yeah. Yeah. And then the other genre on Instagram that exists now is dudes getting hit in the nuts. Like they scare their wife, and their wife has like a broom in her hand or something, and she whacks him like out of
Yeah.
just response. So beware, cover up if you're going to scare your spouse. Barrel or not, Halloween edition, caramel apples.
Oh, biggest barrel ever. I know they just rip your teeth out of your head, but there's nothing. I'm gonna put caramel apple as peak dessert. Not only do you have the caramel, you have the crisp, especially if it's a good green apple, the crisp like bite of the green apple. And I'm gonna say it is sacrilege to do caramel apple with a red apple.
Oh yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
The acid, whatever that
You
is, in the
you
green one.
need the acid of the green.
How do you feel about a candied apple?
Don't like it because
Yeah,
candied apple is
terrible.
taking the perfection of a caramel apple. And I'm going to tell you this too. I don't like my caramel apples adorned with anything other than it's either plain or with peanuts. That's the only way to do it.
Yeah.
Any kind of marshmallow funk, you are anything else other than that. It is perfect as is, other than peanuts. I see peanuts as an additive sometimes, not always, but the caramel apple is the perfect sweet.
See, I'm going no barrel on this one. There's a few things in my childhood that were the holy grail that I never got enough of or just rarely even encountered them. And the caramel apple was one of them, maybe because it was seasonal and it was probably more expensive than, it was out of my grasp. So by the time I became of age and I had a little bit of money, that was something that I was like still living with the youth thought of like, man, this is holy grail. So I went, there was a candy store, and they were making those, and they had all of the ones you're talking about that they're like
Yep.
caramel and then chocolate and then
Yeah.
pretzels on this side and then honey on the whatever. So I went and got one of those, and it was somehow like the apple had been on steroids too. It was bigger than a normal
Yeah.
apple. It's like a small pumpkin. And I did not enjoy it. I ate 3 bites of it, and I was like, I've had enough. There's no chance I would finish this. In the course of a year, I would not finish this. When I was a kid, I probably would have, but as an adult, this is just way too much.
They gilded the lily. I mean, that's
Yeah,
the problem
yeah.
with it is you need the right size green apple, a normal but a really crisp one. It depends so much on the quality of the apple and the quality of the caramel. Like both have to be good. But when you get both of those things right, nothing beats it.
So the solution here is just to dip it in caramel. Then, like, get really good quality caramel on the side, get the good apple, and then just sit there and dip it.
That is preferable, but there is some kind of pleasure to that caramel apple bite of like where you're breaking the skin and all that, which you can't get from the dip.
Okay. All right. Well, we will remain divided on this one. Final barrel and all comes from a listener. It's a kind of a long call. I'm going to skip through some of it, but I'll let you at least hear the beginning.
Boys, 𝗕𝗲𝗲𝗃.
Sorry. Could you hear that?
Yep.
Okay. All right.
Hello, boys. 𝗕𝗲𝗲𝗃. How you guys doing? Greetings from 𝗬𝗿𝗄𝗏, South Africa. Two things in the recent episode that sprung to mind. First of all, the Poo-Pourri debate. For my sins, to put a crust on the table, I work in the chemical industry, and I'm well versed with this product. Chaz.
So I'm going to skip through that Poo-Pourri
Yeah.
part of the call, just cut to the chase. He says it's a great product. It's natural. It's not chemical as Chaz suggested it might be. It's essential oils. It's heavy, so it lays on the top of the water, preventing smell. Your poo will break a barrier into it, which smell can come through. But the trick is to spray another spritz on top of that, and it'll seal the layer. So
Boom,
that's the
done.
trick with Poo-Pourri.
Thank you so much.
And then he gets to the bulk of the call here.
Second point was the surfboard in the car convo. Now, I don't have any tale to link to that. However, I have another associated question. In my life, I've probably had, I don't know, maybe 20, 30, no, let's be honest, probably 40 new surfboards. I have a rule throughout my life that the first night that I get a new surfboard, it's good karma to sleep with it. Typically don't sleep the whole night with it because it's a bit uncomfortable. But I absolutely put it in my bed with me, I hug it, I fall asleep, and then in time I just, put it to the side. As I grew older and I had the occasional woman partner, and ultimately, things, that was not very popular. It was hated, but still, I maintain it's good karma, and every new board that I get, I do at least fall asleep with it. Thoughts? Am I a madman for doing this? Or do other people do this in the community? I wonder. Anyway, that's my ramble. Keep work.
Barrel or not sleeping with your surfboard?
Absolute barrel. I mean, it was something that I don't think I ever fell asleep as a kid, but I would put it, just put it in bed and just gaze at it as a kid. If you got a new surfboard, it was the most precious thing in the world. I love maintaining that passion for this thing that is going to gift you either lots of joy or possibly, heartbreak, but it is a relationship. And so to sleep with it, that's the way you seal any relationship. I mean, the most important relationships, I will say.
I'm laughing at the fact that he has a sexual partner in bed.
With
And
the
he
surfboard.
goes, by the way, I just got a new board today. It's a threesome. Like, we've got a partner joining. Like, he's had to have that conversation.
It's absolutely epic. I mean, I have not heard anything in quite some time that is so great, and that definitely, Barrel, you keep doing it. I've never heard of a other person doing this, but dear listener, if you sleep with your surfboard, call on in.
I would love to hear the response of what percentage of people actually do this.
It's fantastic. What a fantastic call.
I did it once.
Like, slept on purpose though, or there was just like you just loved that board so much that you just brought it right into the sack?
I got a new board. It was a used board. from Play It Again Sports when I was like probably 16, 17. It was an Al Merrick.
Mhm.
So it didn't even have, I don't think it even had the Channel Islands logo. It just had the Al Merrick logo, like that would be below the Hex logo. And it had a really cool art on the deck with like an eyeball and all these. It was just really cool. And freaking love that thing. So the first day I got it, I literally like brought it. I had a twin size bed. Didn't even fit in there with me, but I brought it in there because I just wanted to cherish it.
Love it. I love it. And yeah, that's, I mean, definitely had the impulse as a kid, but this is something that we should welcome into adulthood.
It's the curves, you know, there's something sexy about a surfboard. It's
There
like,
is. Let's not
yeah.
deny it. Let's
Yeah.
just not, let's not dance around this any longer.
embrace it.